disabilities, so I can bring them in the studio and also bring authority them for talk about them concerns them. Anyway, they bring to the edition of the program we on challenge. My name na Adeyemi Jackson. The edition of the program we on challenge, we go look at the radical inclusion, the opportunities and way lies for persons with disability as government. We don't introduce the radical inclusion when a program where they look at different things in the country. And for help me talk about this topic today, I get the headmaster and the Magai School for the Blind, when I salute today. We go can talk about some of the things then we don't happen at the school and say how important or which now some of the things them persons with disabilities they want to see inside the radical inclusion. Good afternoon, Mr. Ture. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Adeyemi. Good afternoon, Fabuta.
Well, that now my studio guest for today. We na salute today. We na salute today. We na the headmaster for the Magai School for the Blind. We go can help me forget more about the topic where na radical inclusion, where this na program where government be introduced, and this they look at how government they give opportunity to everybody. But today we look specifically about the issue of persons with disability, waiting persons with disability want to see inside the radical inclusion. But before we I come to salute today at the Gona de Magai School for the Blind. Also, we reporter Ibrahim Sheku Bangura be meet with the headmaster who get to the studio. When I salute today, also then talk about the important or the role where the Magai School for the Blind don't play in terms of music, and also some of the challenges that they don't facing in the aspect of the school. Musical business. But before we can talk about that, I'll come over to Mr. Ture. Mr. Ture, good afternoon. Welcome again to the program.
Good afternoon.
So far, what's in that happened so in the school for the blind?
Thank you very much. The school for the blind, the Milton Magai School for the Blind, we based now Freetown here, specifically Wilkinson Road. Done there for over 65 years now. So that tells you, say, now the oldest disabled institution in this country. And we done the establishment, the government of Sierra Leone establishment primarily for train or educate visually impaired Pekin. And one very unique thing about this school is that it gets a body home. That means any Pekin will become affected with blindness, where we admit now the school. Now they will admit, now they EDD, now the body home, and we feed them 3 times a day, and we also provide for them bedding facilities. So as a whole, we don't do that kind of work there for over 65 years now. We mean see a lot of people they don't go through this school, they don't become educated, and some of them they play very important roles in our society today.
This school don't there for a very long time, and don't they produce people them? What are the people they are so where the school don't they cater for?
When I blind people them, and I will tell you that the school starts with 3 picking them, and then are old people now. I mean over 70 years, and from that time they begin progress to admitting more children in the school, and say people then like we self can at the school. And we go through the school, and a lot of others in CSF come at the school. And today, as we talk, we get the current pupils of the school, where they do extremely well. Some of them they secondary school, some of them just don't take them WASC exams, Becker exams as well, and some of them they primary school. So we cater basically for picking them we affected with blindness. Now then the Milton Magai School for the Blind, they cater for, and waiting now with specific role now for make sure say we train them so for read and write in the accessible format that for use the braille and become educated so that then safe not go be left out in society, then will be part of society and contribute meaningfully to the development of this country.
The school they cater specifically for people with blind, picking them with blind.
Yes.
So in terms of categories of them picking them, yeah, so which categories of picking them are they cater for in terms of the age?
So we Trade, when they start the school, they only admit picking them at age 6. But as you know, now that picking them, that foundational learning, very important for a child. So when we take over the aim of affairs of the school, I decided for say if picking all 4 years safe, we can admit her at the school, put her in a nursery. So about 2 years ago, we don't start the nursery school at the place day. We may say if picking all 5 years, but you're affected with blindness, we go admit her. And the reason for this is that sometimes for picking of that nature, when they become blind, the parents then can be so sad, they go just go to cry for the picking and go feel so discouraged, thinking that all thing is lost for that picking. So we can want for take them picking and they catch them, and when they are young, at that stage then we will begin teach them. Now we will put them into nursery until they reach 6 years. Now by the time they go 6 years, then go learn a lot of things. And mind you, we at the Milton Magai School for the Blind, the least speaking safe, we speak English. So no picking all the way they talk Creole yonder. So now that we make sure say now we get picking even at age 4. So as we speak, we get picking from age 4 right up, but we also get picking them with it in a higher school, higher secondary school.
Okay. Name na Sally Toure and the headmaster for the Milton Magai School for the Blind. Continue for there with me in the program as they go back at the Milton Magai School for the Blind. Also, we report where na Ibrahim Sheku Bangura be meet with Sally Toure and talk to them about the aspect of music, the how Milton Magai School for the Blind don't they contribute to the music industry in the country, and also and some of the challenges them where the school musical aspects of the school don't they face. A talk to we reporter when Ibrahim Sheku Bangura.
Yeah, we get a choir, we get a band, we get picking them where they play the keyboard, we other ones where they sing. Then can invite you in various churches, various programs, and we self can exhibit. Remember, say this choir don't travel to the UK, they don't go to Canada, Germany, and we don't win a lot of mark in this country. As I tell you about the national pledge, this school has always been known for choir, but we also understand that it has also been known to produce very, very competent and visually impaired people that we serve and continue to serve in different areas in Sierra Leone and out of Sierra Leone.
So in the area of music, what now are challenges there?
We not get instruments, we not get pianos, we not get band instruments. Then they also a very, very big challenge to us. We not get pianos, then we beginning the train. The piano they will get at the moment, they've gone very, very bad. And we not get band instruments like drums, keyboards, and so on. All of them things then they picking one for practice music. Because remember, say, not all picking will be able to go for the college or Milton Magai or Injala University. We also get for cater for them picking and we get talent in music so that then not going to be left behind. And whatever they earn from that music, they could also make them very useful. So that's a very serious challenge, musical instrument. A very serious challenge.
So lack of this musical instrument, how it affects our progress?
It don't affect me so much because as I tell you, we get some picking and where we want for training music, but because we don't get that, then they don't make them drop out from school. And we think say that not for happen. If we really get this musical instrument, it will help a lot of the kids here so for come back and learn and make themselves very, very useful.
So how you can describe music now in our own lives?
It's a relief for us because sometimes you think about your situation, and whenever you go in for think about that, then you decide for take on music. It brings relief to the soul. So music now a part of the school for the blind or picking within at the school for the blind. Every pickyard belong to the choir. Some belong to the band. Music now a whole program for we don't help for develop. Picking blind people themselves where they out of this school now. We hear about the musical flames. They kind of mark the way they don't make that this country. Music for us now a really, really, really developmental aspects in the school.
So what you go for talk to the authorities within concerned regarding the music?
I want to tell the one the way they listen to me, the authorities concerned, that then therefore pay attention to the Milton Magai School for the Blind. One of the challenges is music. Let them provide for we musical instruments so that we not go make any picking be drop out. Let them give we those musical instruments so that we picking themselves we're able to learn music and make themselves very, very useful. Music now a very important aspect our departments in the Milton Magai School for the Blind. And we know say with music, we also will continue to develop this institution. Magai School for the Blind now na your own. Now na get some. You we now una, you una na we. And we know say the development of this school will only rely or dependent upon the people within this country and even when they're within out of this country. We motto can say we cannot see, but we will conquer. And we believe say, but to support we give to this school, we will go continue for look after them pick here, so that then say will be ministers Bambai, then say will be ambassadors Bambai, then say will be first ladies Bambai. That support will make we realize the potentials and make them pick here to become very useful and responsible in the future.
Well, that na salute to you when the headmaster for the Milton Magai School for the Blind. They talk to the reporter we na Ibrahim Shekul Bangura, but the challenge them with the musical department na the Milton Magai School for the Blind they face. And I get salute to you na studio where they talk about some of the things that the school don't they do and also the radical inclusion policy where government become with. Sally, inside the interview they talk about the challenges that the musical department that the Milton Magai School for the Blind they face presently. And we know Milton Magai School for the Blind, when it comes to music in those days for produce people and we get great talent, we don't contribute to the musical industry in a salon. You talk of the blind musical flames, we talk of the likes of Attila and others them. Now the department is facing challenges in terms of acquiring instruments for train more picking them in the aspect of music. What in the school don't they do for ensure say they address this area?
Well, we are very concerned as a school over the years that the school don't face this challenge very, very greatly, and we need really for address this challenge so that one very important aspect of that school day not going to be broken down. And this music, what you make have so much very passionate about them because now it don't make a lot of people for and then living day like today. Some people that we go through that school day, not to say they're not go able for go university, but then choose music as a career, as a whole a profession where go bring source of income to them. So for we at the school, we always believe say music for continue for play, and that music will only continue for play where we get instruments, music instruments, where we ensure say the picking and self way they were so gifted and talented in music will continue for learn and for play music and how for sing with music and how for live by music.
Okay, in a salute to you, in the headmaster for the Milton Magai School for the Blind, I sit in at the studio for talk about some of the things that way the school don't they do for ensure say they produce more picking them where they contribute to the growth of the country. And now they can talk about the radical inclusion policy. Of course, inside 2021, the government of Salome be introduced the national policy on radical inclusion for schools and this policy they create opportunity for schools them for picking them for able for access school and also able for educate just like all other picking them, especially picking them we over the years not be done they get the opportunity. Today we look at the aspect of this radical inclusion, the opportunity and also which persons with disability don't they see now this policy and also which they want for since this policy address for them. That's why it gets salute today. We are the headmaster for the Milton Magai School for the Blind. Salute. What will make up of the radical inclusion policy where government will introduce?
You know, Ademi, the radical inclusion policy is a blessing to this country. Now a policy we really, for me, I think that Sierra Leoneans for appreciate if in 2021, as you mentioned, this policy was introduced, and what to make it more unique was that this policy was launched, one of the launchings then we didn't do na Milton Magai School for the Blind. I did the minister at the time, when the chief minister now, we go do the launching of the radical inclusion policy. That tells you, say, it not only puts this thing into paper, but it practicalize them. It makes sure, say, one of the sectors them of the radical inclusion policy we really for be paid attention to, I for go meet them and launch this thing so that they say for be parts and parcel of this radical inclusion policy. So the radical inclusion policy now a very, very meaningful and important policy to the growth of disability in Sierra Leone. Now, make I tell you, I can always tell people that several years ago, before the radical inclusion policy was launched, education for visual impaired, particularly secondary school education, was very, very challenging. Here is a situation where say you go admit Pekin now a certain secondary school. The principal will even decide for say I go take them or I know they take them. At the time before the radical inclusion policy, even me self suffer that kind of thing. This several years ago before when I go to SS1, one school been there, what we don't admire when I was a child. So I've been one for attend that particular school day. But here was a situation who said the principal will tell you, say, I know they admit a blind child in my school. Where at the time it was very, very discriminatory. So for me and for many others, we see that the radical inclusion policy really come at a time where greatly reduce or even eradicate this issue of discrimination when it comes to education. And we will face several challenges with secondary school education, as I mentioned to you. But with the radical inclusion policy now, may it not even act again. It's so much understanding everywhere. Any institution now where you send a visually impaired child at that secondary school day, then we embrace them. Then we gladly for get that picking day na then school. That's not because of that radical inclusion policy, because it is about leaving no one behind. Even though you are blind, or you are a hearing impaired person, or you are physically challenged, yes, you also get right for attend or belong to any educational institution in this country, just as that person they we himself an able-bodied person. So the radical inclusion policy so much important that it don't play and reduce and a lot of barriers in the education sector. Not this not alone.
You talk about barriers. You talk about say before. You talk about the challenges where blind people and be facing before in terms of accessing education compared to now. Since government introduced the national radical inclusion policy, you think say the policy that actually open the space for persons with disabilities, especially blind people? In
the education sector, yes, it don't open the space. I mean, the area more we also need for look into governments and other development partners, therefore really look into now the area of employment. We still get huge number of our colleagues.
We can't talk about the area
Yes.
of employment.
So
let me focus about the area of the education sector. Now the schools there.
Education, I will tell you that the radical inclusion policy really don't get a very, very good pass mark, because now you know the hear any more situation who say Peking go one go this school, but the principal will reject them because of a disability. Now any child go choose or select any school of his choice, and that Peking they go be admitted there. And one wonderful thing about now is that most of the schools are now they even go through adaptation. That they get ramps for the physically challenged people, and government also don't they pay attention to the providing learning materials, not only for picking and where they see or where they able to talk, but the learning materials also. If you're not a visually impaired child, then also don't they provide them materials and they so that themselves go able for live side by side with the sighted company them na class. You know, before this time, before the radical inclusion, the introduction of the radical inclusion policy, I will tell you at DME, the bulk of the things here were not happening. But I will tell you now vividly that due to the introduction of the radical inclusion policy, we don't really get a huge turnaround in this country with regards the education sector of the Mpikia.
This policy also for create opportunity or creates a way for the persons with disabilities are able to access school buildings there.
Yes.
You think say some of the facilities just wait for them at the schools then actually visible?
We don't get all that yet, but I mean you get other organizations like Mental Health Coalition. I mean they implement a project at the moment where also they do adaptation to schools, and they don't do a lot of adaptation to many schools, you know. So government cannot do everything at one go, but we also get other people, other organizations them where don't they play their own role towards disability issues and towards improving this accessibility in schools. So then they also don't they work very, very well, and then they are complementing government's efforts. As I say, government are like Kumra, then they do a lot of things, they get a lot of projects, a lot of sectors them where they want for satisfy. But because then are Kumra, then we just go they do some areas and go the other areas as well. But we get there other organizations that will complement government's efforts for ensure say the schools then become very accessible to people with disability.
Earlier you mentioned about employment. What's not the concern where you get?
Employment, even though we get the radical inclusion policy, yes, it's a very brilliant policy, a fine policy, a policy really we don't create so much improvement. I mean, but we still get challenges in the area of employment. Many of our colleagues then boku, we really not get employed it in certain institutions. Some of them will tell you, say, I don't send in applications. We don't go for interview, but just because of my disability, I have not been given the job. You know? So now there we think, say, more effort, more sensitization, more work has to be done in the areas and because government has spent a lot of resources on persons with disability, from primary school to secondary school, then even to university or college. After they don't train you, they don't pay all the monies and they for you, then you come up from college and come sit down, you know, we're able for give back to your country and by way of getting employment. It's really sad. I mean, we know for accept them kind of situations and we for make sure say disabled people when they come out university, when they apply for a job, as long as there is a space in that job, we for able for employ the disabled people in another job.
Okay, continue for the with me now the program. A name now Sally Toure and in the headmaster for the Magai School for the Blind. As we don't take way through with some of the things that we don't happen at the school, and also we sit and think about the radical inclusion policy where government be introduced inside 2021. Continue for the with me now the program as we take this short break. After that, we'll come and continue with the program.